even though he wasn't in WWE anymore at that point, if you remember the time frame. And then out of nowhere, we see the video thing on the screen, and you don't know who it is. It's just some guy wrestling around, and then boom, the American flag opens, and the place went insane.
Yeah, I know.
That was one of the most exciting pops I've ever heard, especially from such a small arena.
Yeah, no doubt. Awesome. I mean, Kurt's debut was sick. I mean, you can't even compare Taz's debut.
Well, no,
I know, but just, I mean, crowd reaction. I just thought it died out really quick. You know what I mean? It didn't live up to the hype. And then, like I said, I expected it to come down. And Samoa Joe, like I said, it's in the main event Mafia, so I expected a swerve of some sorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think
so I guess Taz is like part of the main event Mafia too now. Is that?
Oh, I think the deal is after this runs its course.
He's going to do the announcing, but I mean, as a storyline, is he part of the main event Mafia right now with Joe?
Well, for right now, yeah.
Because they all posed at the end of the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah. But that's how Victory Road ended. Well, then they did the video package that recapped everything. But well, no, not at the end of the pay-per-view.
The hard jet.
Yeah. The co-main event there when they had Sting versus Joe. But I think they're gonna put him on the announce booth at some point. I don't know if they're gonna do a 3-man announce booth with West and Tenay. You've got to keep Tenay, obviously.
It would be the smartest thing in the world. Don West is good old country folk, and I know Jeff Jarrett likes his good old country folk, but he sucks. Let's be honest. He sucks. He's sucked for however many years. TNA's been around, 6 years, 7 years. He's not getting any better. This is the best he's going to be. Get him out of there. Mike Tenay and Taz would make an awesome team, because Tenay is very much like Michael Cole. He's kind of a nerdy, straight man, you know what I mean? And then Taz would be the funny, colorful guy, filling in the gaps.
Yeah,
kind of like I am with you. You're the straight, nerdy guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, Don, the thing about it, dude, is announcing is hard. Yeah, I mean, even when I come on here and do, I'm not an announcer by any means, you know what I mean? But I come on here, it's tough, man, to be on a live. Well, I know they're taped.
There's a lot of. It used to be reversed when we did the show. I used to have your spot, and you were the funny guy that made the little comments and goofy stuff back in the original run. And you're right, it's a lot harder than there's a lot of things you don't think about when you host a show. You don't think about how long to our next commercial. Is this subject getting boring? Are we staying on track? Is it time to do a plug? Are we going into a commercial, out of a commercial, the intro, the outro? There's a lot of things you don't even think about, and you do it naturally. So props to you.
Oh, it's crazy. Well, thank you. Well, you know who I learned from? I learned from the best, my man, Matty B. No, we did this show for 8 years, and like you said, you carried me for for the longest time. Then, like I said, Matty Boone goes away for, I don't know, 3 years, 5 years, and then decides all of a sudden he wants to come back, and we welcome him with open arms.
I don't want to act like I'm not happy to be back, but if I recall, you asked me to come on and do a segment before every UFC pay-per-view that same week, on the Tuesday of that UFC pay-per-view week. And then that snowballed into me saying, hey, can I come on this week? It's been kind of fun doing this. So, yeah, I'm getting into it again. We'll put it that way.
We've got to know, I'll tell you what, I know you're in the chat right now.
It is packed. You weren't lying, man. Jesus Christ.
And that's just the chat room, you know what I mean? We also put out you know what? I forgot to mention, last night, we did a show last night, and there were problems with the chat room, so you couldn't get in the chat room last night, but you could listen to the show on the live stream. So we did a 1-hour show, and I see everybody. What's up with Karen Angle, Jeff Jarrett, and we did like a half-hour conversation on that last night, and I wanted to get the archive of that. It was a good show.
Yeah, I'm hoping you do it tonight, because All
right, we'll do it.
I've heard the basic gist of the story, but I kind of don't know the specific details, you know what I mean, the minute detail. I want to hear the story just as a fan myself, because I know you know inside and outside the whole story. So.
All right, well, we'll do it. We've got a ton of news, and then we'll do that. We'll run that down for a little bit. But yeah, we did that, and I'm not going to be able to get the archive up of that. So, like Boone said, we'll just do it again tonight. Those of you that heard it.
Are you wanting to do Night of Champions tonight, or you want to do a special Night of Champions show like I talked about earlier?
Yeah, we may. We'll skip if we're going to do the Angle stuff. We'll skip Night of Champions. But
we'll see what time looks like.
I think we're going to do something on Sunday, maybe like Sunday afternoon. maybe like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon prior to the pay-per-view. Probably the earlier the better. But maybe around like 1 Eastern time or 2 Eastern time, like a half-hour show where, you know, we're going to run down Night of Champions, give predictions, a few hours. We're going to try something new. We've really never done this, unless it's for like WrestleMania or something like that. But I'm going to do something, and I'm going to try to get Jose on Sunday as well, and you here. And
I'll definitely be here.
Yeah. So we'll it's probably Sunday. I'll put something on the website about it. Look at that chat room, Matty B. This is more than we have on Tuesday night. Jesus, maybe we should
loading up, man, for sure.
Change the day of the show here to Wednesday. Nah, Tuesday's a bigger day. But WZROnline.com /chat to get into the live chat room. All right, Matty B, where do you want to start? You want to get this Kurt Angle stuff out of the way? Big story.
The big stories are the Kurt Angle thing and the Fedor Barnett thing. So you pick which one you want to start with, because those are the two big ones. The rest is just regular news stuff.
About that Barnett, huh? What is up with that? We'll talk about that in a little bit, but man.
Angle and Karen Angle, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter. What's the story, man? Let us know. Start at the beginning.
Craziness ensues in TNA. Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle.
Look at you, ensues.
Yeah, huh?
Good.
Gotta break out the big. I got Matty Boone here tonight, man. I gotta bust out some big words.
Man, studying the thesaurus like the Bible. Listen to them.
Well, I may not know what they mean, but if they sound good, I'll throw them in there. But all right, Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle are romantically involved and have been since the fall of last year, according to some sources. Basically,
how crazy is that? Wow.
Well, I know, it's nuts. Well, the thing crazy about it is Jarrett's got kids, Angle's got kids, Karen's got custody of Kurt's kids.
That's even more messy, which you'll get into in a second. I'm just talking about business-wise. I mean, Jeff Jarrett is, for all intents and purposes, Kurt Angle's boss. To an extent.
Okay, if they've been dating since the fall of last year, people have known about this. How many matches did we have? I mean, that Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett feud. How many matches, pay-per-view after pay-per-view, did we have of those two? One-on-one.
I don't know. And why is it such a problem now? That's what I need to hear. I don't know the whole story. I knew it's been going on for a while, but I don't know why now it's such a huge. I know Bubba revealed it, but why is it to the point now where it's almost, we've got rumors of Kurt Angle taking over booking. Jeff Jarrett's almost going to be fired by Dixie, and she's going to buy the remainder of the. Why is all that happening now if it's been going on? Just because it became public?
Well, it's been there's a big custody battle with the kid that is currently in progress. Just got nasty. Everything was all right up until a few weeks ago, and then to make matters worse, a guy claiming to be basically said he worked on the lot at Universal Studios for TNA.
Which is
whether that's just, I mean, it was probably either somebody that was released. I talked about it yesterday. There were a couple referees that were released in the I mean, it's got to be somebody, a disgruntled employee that would do that, because it's been talked about in TNA for months now.
Well, it could even be a wrestler. I mean, didn't they disguise their voice with some machine or something on the Bubba show?
Yeah.
Bubba's really tight with a lot of pro wrestlers, especially because he's based out of Tampa, which is where a lot of wrestlers live, like Hulk Hogan. But I mean, he is the Florida Howard Stern, and he loves wrestling, so he's always had wrestlers on his show. So it could have just been a wrestler. Could even be so with the company. Who knows?
Bubba's ticked because the next day, Matt Morgan was supposed to do an interview in studio with him, and Bubba was on air, called him up and said, "Man, where are you? This is your time." And he said, "I'm running about 10 minutes late, stuck in traffic. I'll be there in just a minute." And 10 minutes passed, and Bubba got a call from Ross Foreman, I believe his name is, who's public relations for TNA, and said that Morgan had got sick and wasn't going to be able to appear. And this was 10 minutes after the fact that Morgan had just told Bubba, "Yo, I'll be there in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So Bubba said, "I know what this is all about. They're not going to send Morgan here now because of the guy that called in the previous day and leaked the Jeff Jarrett, Karen Angle story."
Almost like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, only in this case you screwed me over, I'll screw you over.
And Bubba was not happy about that the following day with Matt Morgan. So who knows? Who knows? You know,
by the way, was this on Bubba's local? Was it on his Florida show or was it on a Sirius show? Do we know that?
I don't know. They seemed when I listened to they had a YouTube video of it.
Yeah,
not video, but the audio. It sounded like they were pretty tame. No cussing or anything like that.